What's going on, everybody? It's Eric here from the MMG. Happy to be bringing you some more coverage of Where Winds Meet, which is a completely free-to-play game available on Steam and mobile and consoles. Check it out. Today we're talking the brand new update. They're calling version 1.2 Live to Gain. This is going to bring new story content, major system changes, new areas to explore, and some surprisingly serious mechanics that change how the world reacts to the player's behavior. I'm going to walk you through the most important updates, focus on what actually matters, and break down the best and most interesting parts of this particular patch. So, number one for most people, and I know we're excited about it here, is guild battles and the new systems that come along with it. So, first up, guild battles are officially here. They're going to start on the 16th. WhereWindsMeet now has the whole battle preseason running for a limited time right now, so you can get in there and start it. The introduction structures guild versus guild combat with preparation phases, weekend battles, and ranking based rewards. During the prep phase, guilds can train special skills, recruit allies. Once competition begins, though, matches open on weekends, and your performance directly affects your guild standing. This isn't casual PvP, it's designed around coordination, preparation, and teamwork. So if you're in an organized guild and, this is going to be a competitive way for you to compete. All right, next system we're going to talk about is the joint punishment system. So this is one of the more interesting additions to the update, in my opinion. If a player repeatedly causes trouble or, has avoided consequences of the trouble he's caused, they can now be sentenced in a way that affects more than just them. So close allies, including friends, apprentices, or guildmates, with high relationship levels can now be pulled into the punishment along with them. This means jail time, public parades, and the shared consequences. Love this so much. You can reduce your sentence by participating together, but the message is clear. Your actions now affect the people around you. It's a serious system that reinforces accountability in the world, and it makes the social side of the game matter a lot more. The Genal Marshall Games event is also happening. This is a limited time event, and it's like a festival style competition with multiple activities that focus on speed, strength, coordination, and teamwork. Some of the challenges are intentionally over the top, like carrying NPCs through obstacle courses or group based puzzle events, but the rewards are very real. You earn event currency that can be exchanged for cosmetic items, titles, and guild honors. Top performing guilds also receive recognition. It's lighter in tone than some of the other content, but still competitive, and it gives guilds another reason to play together. There's new training grounds and boss dummies. These are for players who care about your build and combat optimization. This allows you to really get in there and figure out what's the best DPS and so forth using the practice dummies or boss dummies for this. You can also apply buffs and debuffs to them, just like in real combat scenarios. So if you're fine-tuning your character and preparing for harder encounters, this is going to be a nice quality of life improvement for you. There's new areas and story content. This update brought more to the world, which already is packed full. But first, there is the Nine Mortals Way base, which is a hidden underground area that it's tied to a theme quest. There's like underworld scams, underworld activity related to it. It looks to be a ton of fun. I haven't done it yet. It feels very much from the rest of the game, from what I understand, and it includes unique accessories and titles along with it. And next up is Mistville Prison. This is a solo dungeon. It's hidden deep in the Mistville Forest. It's designed for single-player exploration that leans heavily into the atmosphere and mystery, and I think it looks fantastic. Can't wait to check it out. And finally, the Kaifeng storyline reaches its conclusion. So the final story, or the final chapter of Gambit Beneath the Shimmer, wraps up the Kaifeng arc with a major boss fight and sets up the next phase of the game's story. So if you've been following the narrative, this is going to be a must-play moment for you. So side quests and world events, they've added a lot more of this. There's now new locations for the Lost Chapter side quest. They're focusing on tracking down the legendary thief, continuing that story involving the runaway bridegroom. There's quests that aren't really fillers, but are there more to expand the lore and other meaningful rewards. There's also an encounter called the Bellman's Oath, which leans into exploration and puzzles and the whole atmosphere rather than combat, which I love those. Combat's great in this game. I do really enjoy it, but I also really like the different aspects of the puzzles and exploration that this game offers. So, all right, there's also a bunch of quality of life improvements that are being added to the game, along with new player support, which I love. They're still focusing on making that new player experience more enjoyable and understandable, which I'm never going to complain about that. This game does have a lot going on. It can be a little overwhelming for a lot of people. That's probably the most feedback I've got from my community is there's just so much happening. It's so hard to figure out what all these systems are, what they all do, how they all work together. And I'm glad to see that they're actually improving that through these quality of life improvements for new players and veterans too. So yeah, so closing out, overall version 1.2 is a very big update. Very impressed. And I'm glad that they're working on a lot of the features. They're adding more story. They're making the game easier. They're adding more to the world. It's got depth at combat. It explores a story. It introduces some meaningful social games. It improves how the game feels really from moment to moment. So whether you're a veteran coming back or just someone new looking to start out, I think this update is going to give you a great place to start and work with it. So, all right, that's going to wrap up my coverage of the update. Again, we have lunch break episodes of Where Winds Meet coming next week, next Monday. Stay tuned. That is January the 19th. That whole week will be a Where Winds Meet lunch break here on the MMG. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn the bell on to get notified when we go live. It's 12 p.m. Eastern every day. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and have yourself a great day.